Hello, better friends. It's your old friend, Spooky Sprite from the Best Linux Games Podcast, www.bestlinuxgames.com. This is our video component for episode 93. It's being recorded on Monday, the 1st of August, 2016, at 13:52 p.m. Pacific Time, also known as 1:59 p.m. Pacific Time. Let's have some whiskey. Cheers. Best Linux Games Podcast. Audio only podcast every Saturday, episode 93. Covers only the best titles available for the GNU/Linux operating system. And this week we are playing Defect. And if there's one reason to have a video component to our audio only podcast, it's a game like Defect. There's a lot of stuff that I really like about this game and a lot of stuff that I don't like about this game. Not a lot of stuff that I don't like. But just as a disclaimer, this is not like a full review or anything. You'll have to tune in to this Saturday's episode of the podcast for the full review. But this is like, it's going to be close. This is a very fun game. It's also a very frustrating game. And there are elements of this game, well, you'll see, that I find that are external to the game itself that I find to be laborious and burdensome and get in the way of some of the aspects of the game that I like more. So what we're going to do, right here, we're picking our mission. The premise of Defect is that in between missions, you see this big build button here? In between missions, you build a whole new ship. Now, I've been playing Defect for a while, about 8-9 hours now. So I have like a library of ships. So I have to, the build component isn't as constant for me now as it was earlier on in the game. The build component is probably like the best aspect of the game. So like, here are our cores. These provide power to our ship. I find this entire ship design system, not just like the interface and everything, but like the actual balance and considerations that you have to make and the style considerations and stuff like that. I think it's the best aspect of the game. If not, I think it's right there. Because it's a fabulous system. So I'm just going to walk you through real fast. I'm not going to super explain what's going on here. But that's our core. If that gets hit, we die. These are crew quarters. See how there's two numbers down here? There's 131. That's our power. And then there's our crew. Well, that's going to give us those 6 guys right there. So we're just going to throw these things on there. This is our hull, which is going to give us armor and mass, which sucks. We don't like mass. And, of course, you can rotate these things and also add them to different layers and stuff like that. If you're really into the customization aspect, if you're really into the cosmetic aspect of the game, then there you go. These are our engines. This is propulsion. Now, down here, you can see, like, our mass. Mass really, really affects your speed. So this guy's got 150 thrusts, so that's good. There we go. So our top speed now is 48. Our stability, though, is negative 200. So we're going to have to add some wings. These are all various different types of wings. They enable you to steer your ship and give you stability and confer other bonuses. Blah, blah, blah. So then we're going to add some guns. We got a lot of power, but we don't have a lot of crew. I like to add my guns like right along the center line here. And you'll see what this does in a moment. This is like the flying brick. The brick of death, actually. Holy shit. It's a lot of guns. Okay, so I paid no attention realistically to anything that we were doing while we were creating the ship, so. Oh, there we go. It's beautiful, isn't it? Yeah, I know. Oh, yeah. Oh, baby. Everything does have to be touching each other, though. That's one stipulation. Otherwise, it's not on the ship. If you know what I mean. There we go. And I just want to move this guy right there. So, how many guns was that? Let's see. Over here, you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 guns. Okay, so our top speed is 19. That's slow. Our steering, it's okay. Our stability is okay for this engine. You can add as many engines or as many components as you want. So, we're going to save this guy. This guy might actually be useful. 59. He's got 2, 4, 6. 6 of the generic primary laser guns. I like these guns. This gun actually allows you to control where it's aimed when you take control of it, but it has way less damage than this, and the mass requirements, blah. But these are all the weapons that I've unlocked so far, and they provide a surprising variety of tactics. These are missiles. These are torpedoes. These are really big missiles. This is like a death beam. This is a mine layer that I haven't used. Anyway, so let's take this guy out and try him. And what we're going to do is we're going to find... This might not be the one mission that we're going to experiment with. We're going to... Because I'm not sure exactly which one might be best to show off. Because what I want to do is find a mission and then fly a number of my spacecraft in that mission to show off some of the differences. Because I have some pretty cool builds, in my humble opinion. Now, so the premise of Defect is after you complete the actual mission inside of the mission, before you can leave the mission, your last ship with your former crew warps in, and you have to defeat the ship from your previous mission with the ship from your new mission, because at the end of this mission, your crew's going to defect and take the ship, and that'll be the ship that we'll have to fight at the end of the next mission, if that makes any sense. Hence the name, Defect. It's about mutineers. Whoa, this guy is really hard to control. So one of my problems with the game is this inconsistent zoom. And you'll see what I mean, because right now, we're zoomed out, but now it zoomed me back in. Now it zoomed me back out. And then when I get close to these guys, it's going to zoom me back in. Oh, oops, I forgot to fucking... There we go. That's the other thing I don't like, but it's forgivable. Oh, this ship is a motherfucker. This little build of ours, this ship destroys people. Oh, you want to shoot at me? Okay, so what's happening here in terms of on our ship? If you look on the left, you see like a big list of shit. Those are our ship systems. I can only control, it's called direct control. I can only do direct control for one item on there. If it's a gun, then that means I get to pick when it gets shot. If it's a system that's damaged, that means that I'm designating it for repair. Everything else is automated, so you have hence that whole idea of crew and stuff. I do not like the way you take control of systems. I find this interface very clunky and confusing and easy to forget when you actually have control of something and when you don't. It's also not easy to cycle back to any particular thing. Like, for instance, if you go to repair your... oh, this ship is our little design here is a death machine. It's not easy. This is like... We're kicking some ass here. See, I'm not pressing fire there. That's our guy. The big red circle represents our weapons range. I'm firing now. Yeah, you're dead. Those green things are salvage. Salvage. I think we're supposed to... I think we're supposed to activate all these... Okay, so this is the ship that I designed from my last successful mission. Come back from the grave! So the interesting consideration here is that for each mission, you kind of only want to go with a build that lets you accomplish the mission. You know, like if it requires speed, you want something fast. If it requires, some tank elements, then you want a tank. But you want to do kind of the bare minimum to meet those requirements, because you're going to have to destroy that ship. You're going to have to fight and destroy that ship later on. So ultimately, for me, this has resulted in okay, I'm losing control here because we have some damage. We got some damage components here, so let's fix that. So what I've started to do now that I'm more of a veteran, now that I'm more of a veteran, is I intentionally design. I try to design a good ship, like a really good ship. I try to, make a kick-ass ship and stuff. Oh, you die, bitch! But I also try to design it with a weakness that I know that I have a plan before ever completing the mission that I'm going to take it out on. When I'm designing my ships, now I try to have a plan on how to design them with a tactical weakness that I can later exploit, but that won't be exploitable during the current mission by my enemies. Because I'm going to have to destroy it later, but right now I need to use it to destroy them. You understand what I'm saying? So we didn't get to zoom in too much, but the game is very pretty. That was actually a pretty good demonstration of how to use, your repair and everything. But it was just as confusing. Like, that's why, if you couldn't tell what was happening there in terms of when I was repairing the systems, that's a good example of how basically I couldn't either. And then when I was, for some of it, then when I had everything repaired, I couldn't get back to my guns. I've had bad experiences getting this game to work with a gamepad on Linux. But I haven't really tried that extensively because it seemed like, okay, it just wants me to fucking use the mouse, whatever. I could see how a twin stick gamepad could work with this. So let's try this again. I don't know if it'll let me redo an old mission. See, we won! We're the most powerful ship in the system! Bye, Captain, you fucktard. There we are, floating in space. Cocksuckers. And then you unlock shit. So, ooh, what's this? Oh, that sucks. Ooh. Ooh, weapons! Weapons!
I don't know that one, but I'm working on including more local businesses.
Weapons. Extremely short range with very high damage 10. Awesome. Broadsides. So, all of that's gonna, in fact, before we end the video, let's just see if we can do it one more time with one of my old builds. So, basically, it gives you these silhouettes, which are really wicked cool. I made all of these ships, and they didn't take a lot. In general, they don't take a lot of time to make. I mean, we just made this guy, Cactus Snowflake. It gives it a random name. We made Cactus Snowflake in what? 2 minutes while I was explaining the entire build system to you. This guy is one of my favorite designs recently. He's a multi-purpose. See speed 52? That means he's very fast. The steering means he's a little twitchy, but he's very turnable. The armor, realistically, if you are not moving briskly, then you want a really high armor, but this guy, Fast Rob, 174, that's a lot of armor. This guy's going to be very hard for me to kill. This guy's going to be very hard for me to hit because he's very fast. This guy is kind of a good combo between the two, but he only has 2 guns. This guy was super fun. Enormous Maneuver. He's got 3. Let's see. Let's find something that's fast. So to give you a real, just use this guy. I like this guy a lot. And so you don't necessarily have to design a whole new ship for each mission, but each mission has its own set of things. Like there are 3 in this cluster that if your ship isn't super fast, you're not going to be able to catch the guys that you're supposed to interdict and stuff. So those kind of present those type of missions where it's like a really okay. So look at how fast this guy is. Wait, why are we being fired upon already? Oh, we just got fucking nailed. Let's try this one more time and then, blah. But as you can tell, like, I really like the game. It's a lot of fun. Here's one thing that I don't like. All right, we're going to redo this mission. Do we really have to get kicked back out to the main menu? Like, it should have, like, a menu right there in that loaded pocket or whatever. Retry, bam, and then, or go back and, build or go back to this screen. Those should be the 3 buttons in there. Because here's what I don't like. I don't like this loading sequence. I do not like these warping in sequences, and I don't like the pacing of any of the cinema sequences, any of the narrative segments, because they're really herky-jerky, and they pull you in and out of whether or not you're controlling your ship, and they also generally have a tendency to change your zoom level, so that makes it super difficult. Oh, shit. This is my little fast ship. I guess because of scale, you're having a hard time seeing how fast it actually is. This isn't my super fast ship, but this is a fast ship. This guy, his speed in relationship to this larger cruiser guy, maybe destroyer, demi-destroyer class, whatever. Kind of gives you an idea. What are we supposed to be doing here? Are we supposed to be destroying you? Is this guy a bad guy? Oh, we were supposed to scan him. Okay. I didn't pay any attention. I guess this isn't the same mission as before. Okay, we're damaged because I can't move. Alright, I guess not. I guess we're not damaged. Huh. Alright, we're supposed to kill that motherfucker, I guess. Oh my god. Let's see if I can give you a sense of how pretty this game is. Right up your tailpipes. Shit. This guy's got one of those death beams. I hate those. Especially because I can't seem to make effective use of them on any of my builds, but you're dead. But I've read complaints about the overall quality of the missions. I have no problems with the actual objectives. What I do have a problem with is having to sit through after, because like you will fail a lot. Like you'll have to try again, and lots of times that does involve retooling the actual build that you're trying to use for that. So this is the ship that we just beat that last mission with. Let's get our hull back. Repairing our hull. There we go. So Our guy right now is really fast. Our old ship is really slow. He does a lot of damage. One of the nice things, oh my god, he's just a monster. He destroyed something that's, yeah, he destroyed our crew, so we lost control of our ship there for a minute. Need to get our guns back online. You use salvage that you harvest during the mission to do any repairs that are necessary. Yeah. This could be difficult. Oh wait, we're still alive. For now. See how where it says hull down there at the bottom left? Now wing, we're repairing our shit. We need to get our engine back online. Now, how about some guns? Alright, let's try this again. Man, that guy's guns are deadly. And he's just fast. I'm just. It's just just enough of a perfect mismatch for me to make this really challenging, actually. It shouldn't take much more than that to kill him. Shit! We're this close. Anyway, fun game. Awesome. I don't know why that guy's a bird, but whatever. Great shipbuilding aspects to it. Lots of replay value. I don't know what people are talking about when they complain about the missions. I don't like the way that the cinemas are scripted. They get in the way of the game. I don't like the load screens because they also get in the way of the game. And I think like you could just do it. If loading is actually a problem, it is a pretty game, but I mean, I don't know why. You know, I don't know why the interface could be more streamlined. I had a less than perfectly easy time getting a gamepad to work with it, but on Linux. But if you thought any of that was cool and looked like fun, and believe me, it was both of those things. Because yes, I am now your personal arbiter. I tell you what you think is cool now. Just kidding. Cheers. If you thought any of that looked like fun or was cool, pretty, interesting, little bit of strategy, little bit of cerebral, lot of action, lot of tactics, lot of fun, then give Defect, which it's a terrible name for the game, Defect, as in defect, not defect, which is what I read it as. Yes, let's buy the broken game. No, Defect. Check it out and visit us on bestlinksgames.com, www.bestlinksgames.com. Home of our podcast, audio only, up to episode 93. New episodes every Saturday. Cheers, thanks for watching. Catch you later.